Film. So ano ba ang film? So another art form has risen tremendous heights within the last century is film or cinema. In early media is motion pictures. Declared film brought yet another dimension into play, that of moving images. The possibilities of this medium created a new art form that was to become a powerful social economic force and a legacy of the 20th century to the world. Cinema, a technology-driven art. Cinema, just all modern arts, has been greatly influenced by technology. In case of cinema, however, it is an art form that came into being because of technological advances. So meaning, nabuo siya because of technology. Then, however, the transition from photography came in the late 1800s with series of photography sa invention of celluloid strip. This allowed successive still photos of a moving object to be captured on a strip of film advancing through a single camera. This was the seed of highly advanced film medium we enjoy today. The need to view these moving images lead to the rise of what we call as kinetoscope, a peep show cabinet with an eye hole through which earliest movies can be viewed by one person at a time. A motor inside the cabinet moved the film strip along in a loop with electric bulb providing illumination from beneath. In the meantime, European and American inventors were providing technological advancement after another. The French developed the cinematography, a hand-crank camera, printer, and projector all in one that was lightweight enough to be brought outside the studio. By 1901, the earliest motion pictures were rapidly progressing. From one scene, studio films, multiple scenes, narratives, filmed outdoors. Driven by these are more advances, the art aspect of filmmaking was born. The collaborative art of filmmaking. So, ang filmmaking, hindi lang siya basta maglalagay ka ng camera and then you start filming, something like that. So, it's a very simple concept, but it has different specialized positions or roles in making movies. So filmmaking, because of the technical complexity, involves entire teams of artists, writers, production experts, supported by technicians taking charge of the cameras, lighting equipment, sets, props, costumes, and the like, all under supervision of a film director. So ano ba yung mga collaborative roles dito? Number one is the film directing. It's the director, like the painter of a sculpture in traditional art, who envisions the final effect of the film on its viewers, visually, mentally, and emotionally. While the painter and sculptor work in physical materials, the film director works with ideas, images, sounds, and other effects to create this unique piece of art. He or she conceptualizes scenes, directs the acting, supervises the cinematography, and final editing and sound dubbing in much way as a visual artist composes an artwork. Pero clearly, however, the director does not do all this alone. Through the years, complexity of filmmaking gave rise to numerous allied arts that did not previously exist. So, madami yun. So, acting. Acting, ito yung first and foremost was the art. There was the art of acting for film, with live theater as the only form of acting at that time. Film actors had to learn to express themselves without the exaggerated facial expressions, gestures used on stage. With the addition of sound, in 1930s, they then had to learn to deliver their lines naturally and believably. Okay? Kasi dati kasi ang film wala siyang sound. Puro visual lang. Then, subtitle. Dati, peep show, naging advances, naging crank, camera, printer, and then na-invento naman yung film. Invento yung film, so wala pang sound nun. So, yun. Then, ito na nga, so, yung mga theater actors, when they act, they have to exaggerate the facial expressions kasi hindi siya basta-basta makikita ng tao sa malaya. Ngayon, advancement of films, yung films naman, naturally, pwedeng i-express nila yung kanilang emotions, yung gestures, and even the voice. Believably. So, let's go with cinematography. Behind the scenes, there was cinematography, or the art film, or camera work. This captured the director's vision of each scene through camera placement, movement, lighting, and other special techniques. Dito papasok po yung discernment ng director how to do the scenes. Kunyari, galing sa taas, pababa yung camera, or galing sa baba, across, or yung slide niya sa push, something like that. Yun yung cinematography. Kung paano, yun yung magiging mata mo sa pelikula. So, ang nakaka-discern niya yung director, maganda talaga yung kanyang discernment sa images, or yung kanyang cinematography kung tawagin. Last, hindi naman lastly, after na kumuha ng saan ba ako? Ako may duwadaan kasi. So, editing. Ito yung pipili ka ng magagandang scenes sa nakuha mo mga reels mula doon sa kuha ng mga cameramen natin. So, this was joined by film editing, the art of selecting precise sections of the film, then sequencing them, joining them to achieve the director's desired visual and emotional effect. Yung sound editing naman was also developed as film began to include more ambitious effects beyond the dialogue and then the background music. Sometimes the sound also dictates what will be the emotional effect of the film. So, it goes beyond the visual and then added by the sound, magkakaroon ng emotional effect. Like, for example, suspense. Hindi siya suspense, hindi siya horror movie pag hindi maganda hindi nakakatakot yung sound niya. Yun ang editing. So, selecting precise sections, sequencing them for emotional effect, and also the sound was also edited or mastered para to achieve that particular feeling, especially on horror films. Ito naman, ito yung kumbaga yung pinaka-backbone ng films, production set or set design. Underlying all this was the art of production, set design. So, ang set design, ito yung magbibigay ng realistic view on that particular cinematography. For example, sabihin na lang natin sa classroom, of course, yung production team will have to simulate or emulate a classroom. Pag sa labas, forest, gagayahin mo, simulate mo yung forest, something like that. This created in physical terms. So, yan, physical terms nga. Like, through location, scenery, sets, lighting, costumes, props, the mental image that the director has on his mind will be put upon the set design. So, yun. The director had of how each scene should look. So, yung director talaga magdidikta kung ano yung magiging look ng set, what period should depict, anong oras, anong pecha, something like that, and the atmosphere it should convey. Kumbaga, pag sinabi mo na ang atmosphere ay magulo, yun yung may isip nung audience, or something like, pag masaya yung lugar, makukuha nung audience na masaya yung lugar, something like that. This includes creating worlds sometimes do not exist, as well the words that were long gone, something like that. Designing each production component down to the very, very last detail. Again, all these allied arts were made possible through the advances of modern technology. For cumbersome machines could barely be moved to today's highly sophisticated cameras accessories can handle the most demanding camera work. From this era, silent films, today's films incorporate a vast range of voice, music, and sound effects to suit an ever-widening array of film genre. From the manual rendering, today's animated films, to use awesome capabilities of computers to amaze moviegoers of all ages.